every time you need a updated form responses, you go to Candy Bar menu, go to forms, open the forms, and go to response tab and click on open Excel file and download Excel file. If this is how you are getting the form responses every single time, then I have a method that can help you link this form into an Excel file using Power Query, and you can get the updated responses with a single click. Let me show you how. For this, we need to set up a Microsoft SharePoint site, or we can say Microsoft SharePoint Teams. We can do this from SharePoint site as well as Microsoft Teams app. So for this demonstration, I will use Microsoft Teams apps, create a Teams site. So we open a Microsoft Teams app. So we are in Microsoft Teams app. And here on the extreme left hand side, we can see Teams option. So we go to Teams option. And here we can see all the existing teams, but we are interested in creating new teams where we can store our MS form and a new Excel file which which won't be stored in this team. We can store it anywhere, but we will link that Excel file to this teams. For this, we go to this plus button on the teams window and go to create teams. It's asking for what kind of team I want to create. Do I want to create it from the scratch, or do I want to create from existing group? But no, I want to create it from the scratch, so I want to open from scratch. It's asking for 3 options: private, public, or organization wide. So for this, I want to choose private because I want to have control of my MS form. I don't want anybody else to edit my MS forms. I want to choose private. I want to give name to my team. I want to give MS form to my team. Other forms will be stored here, and I will press create. So once I created it, it will take a couple of minutes and it's done. Now I can just skip this now. I won't add anyone here. I can add people later on. So I will go back to my SharePoint. I will go to Candy Bar menu, go to MS Form, and when I'm back in MS Form window here, I have service request form in here. It is under my name. So I want to move this to this newly created teams so that I can create link to this MS Form. If it is stored in my personal space, I won't be able to create any links to it. So every time I have to download it. So if I want to create a links to this MS form and I want to have a connection to Excel file using Power Query, and I want my Excel file to update it with a single click whenever new submit is submitted. For that, I need to move this to the group. So I want to create group. So don't get confused here. Group and teams. It's basically the same thing. Different words have been used here. So I want to go to MS, move to group, and as we can see, MS form is showing up here. So I want to click OK. If you just created teams and MS form is not showing up here, give it a couple of minutes. Sometimes takes few minutes to show up in here. So click on move. Once you selected this, click on move, and now it will take few seconds, sometimes up to 30 seconds, and now it's moved to MS form. So now what we can do, now when I open it up and I click on this, it will open up and go to responses. Now when I press this option, previously when I click it, it gives a prompt to download the Excel file, but this time see what it will do. When I click on it, it will open a new tab. So as you can see, it's opening a new tab, and it's opening an Excel file on a SharePoint request form. So what I will do, go to open in desktop app. From extreme right on the editing tab, I will click on it, new pop window will open, new pop-up will open. On that, I will press open in desktop app. So once I do it, it will take few minutes, seconds, and it will open in desktop app. Now I have already some Excel window open. So as you can see, it's open. New Excel file has been opened, but it's not yet we are done with it. So we want to create a connection to a single Excel file, and maybe in future we want to have multiple MS form really connected to the one single Excel file, so that all the form responses will be funneled into one single Excel file. So for this, I will go to info and I will get the copy path of this Excel file. Once I've copied it, I will close it. I do not require this file anymore, and this tab isn't required. So I will create a new blank Excel file completely blank. There's nothing in. I want to open a blank Excel file, and from here I want to go to data tab. From here, on the data tab, on get and transform data menu, I will go from web. When I click on from web, it will open a new pop-up window asking for a path URL of the web link. So I have just copied set my file path, and now I will paste it. When I paste it, in the end there will always be a question mark web equals 1. So this is component, we need to remove it. So we want our link to end with form dot anything file name dot xlsx. It should end with xls only. Anything after that you need to remove it. Once we do it, I want to press OK, and it's gonna create a few seconds. It's asking me to sign in. So because I'm using my organized account, so I need to sign in. I want to sign in. New window will open up. I will select my account. Once I do it, I want to press connect. This will it will just take a few seconds to get the entire data set. Now it's showing up in here. As you can see on the navigator tab, it's showing all the tables existing in that Excel file. So that Excel file, which path we have just copied it. In here, I asked about table 1 and form 1. These two things are basically the same thing. What is happening is form 1 is a seat name, table 1 is the name of the table. So we can choose either of them. So in this case, I want to pick up form 1, and I'm gonna go press load. For this, I do not require to do any transformation here. If I need to do any transformation, I will cover that in a future videos. For now, I'm just gonna load it into my Excel sheet. So I'm gonna press load, and now that my data sheet has been loaded in here. So now I can save it wherever I like. For now, I will keep it as it is. I will save it in a bit. So now let's say new form submission has been done. Let's say someone else will submit new submission. Let's say I'm submitting a new request. Any request can be from. Now I have submitted it. So now I do not require to go to SharePoint, go to MS Form, and download the Excel file. I can go to data tab. I can just hit refresh all. As you can see, there's only one row of the data in here. Yeah, that is one form submission. I have just submitted another form. So now when I press refresh all, it should update the second submission. So let's see. Let's press refresh all. Just press refresh all. And when I press it, it will appear in here.